Ljóst hamri að himni. Ljóst hamri að himni.
The Icelandic language today is the closest language to Old Norse. What that means is a choir in Iceland would be able to read a phonetic spelling of Old Norse and do it correctly. So immediately all eyes were on Iceland as a possible place to do choir.
Hold on 1 second, everyone. Sorry.
I was playing around with just this melody. And at the last minute, I was like, it's so simple that I almost wrote it by accident. It was the last thing I did in sketching that theme. But I mean, I've come to really love it, and I think its simplicity is what makes it so powerful, and it represents Kratos. He's a man of few words. His theme should be a theme of few notes. Here we go. It was incredibly ambitious, right? Corey's gonna play the game while we perform the score live to the gameplay, not a pre-rendered video. I literally got to like raise my arms and hear that sound as he stepped out.
I am hungry.
I get chills even thinking about it. It was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The purpose of the music when you're playing the game is to give you emotional subtext. It's giving you hints of what the characters are feeling at that point. And that's what I think draws us to the gameplay and makes that connection with the characters. And in this case, we tried to do something that was really reflective of Kratos and the new setting of the game. Hi, my name is Peter Scaturo. I'm one of the music producers on God of War, and this is the DNA for the new God of War score. There's a particular blueprint that I think we can all look back and agree makes the God of War sound. There's an epic choir, there's some big strings, and there's some big brass. So what we wanted to do for this installment of the game was keep that DNA intact, but also give it a fresh sound and a fresh point of view. And that fresh point of view came from the choir and the language that we had the choir sing. And that was Old Norse instead of the traditional Latin that a typical choir would sing. So in order to do that, we had to go to a place in the world in which folks can sing and can also sing in Old Norse, and that was Iceland. Modern Icelandic hasn't changed very much in the last 1,000 years, so it's very close to Old Norse. However, there are some differences. And we did hire a linguist in Iceland that helped us with the translation from English to Old Norse. The choir that we're working with, their name is Skóla Cantorum, and they're very popular in Iceland. They actually sing at the church that's on the top of the hill in Reykjavik. Hearing Bear's initial demo for the new God of War theme, what caught our ear right from the get-go was the low choir that was used in the opening notes. It's the type of sound that you get with many, many singers, although it's very difficult to find a large group of singers that can sing in that low register. one of the things that we did was we recorded the Icelandic choir first because we wanted to have the authenticity in the pronunciation of the lyrics. Once we got that down, we took our crew to London.
My method into any project is really through the characters. So this game, perhaps more than any other in the franchise, it has really well-developed characters. I mean, it's really a well-written story. And that was my starting point. And just writing a piece of music that could capture the spirit of a character without even knowing like where it would go in the game. Just how does this make you feel? Does this piece of music capture the spirit of Kratos? I wanted to write something that represented age, wisdom, power, masculinity. So I wrote this tune. It was like a slow march, bum, 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 bum. I didn't know how to start it. Finally, I was like, I don't know, maybe the first 3 notes I could do something with. So I was like, bum, bum, bum. And I just kind of stuck that on the beginning, almost as an afterthought. So I sent it to Sony and Corey, and they love it. And especially the beginning. They're like, the 3 notes in the beginning. And I was like, what 3? Oh, that thing? It is just the first 3 notes of the tune, just kind of on a loop. So it just feels very stern, the way that like a stern father would say to his son over and over and over again, the same thing. I think there's an element of that in the Kratos theme. The fact that I could distill down to those 3 notes, it meant that if he walks into a scene or he takes the upper hand, if he does anything, Kratos he's here. He's taking command, you know? Even at E3, when he steps out of the shadows.
I am hungry.
It's like Pavlovian. You just associate that with him. And it's such a simple little thing, but it's a great trick. As the game develops, I really start to mess with it. This theme that could be masculine and stern and powerful and big and brassy could also be vulnerable and emotional, and that hearing those notes triggers your memories of all the other times you've heard it. And my hope is that it guides you, along with the other 3 or 4 themes that I use as much, if not more, that it guides you through the experience of the game. A couple of our characters, we really learned some exciting things about them, to say the least. And their themes start off one way and evolve into a totally different thing. So that's why thematic writing for me is really useful. And I think more than in any other game I've ever scored, I got to really lean into threading all these different themes throughout the cinematics and throughout the gameplay. And it was a really special experience.
Yeah.
2016 Sony press conference.
You're amazing at this. Okay, tell me how nervous you are right now.
I had Richard on one side of me, and I had some random stranger on the other side of me. I want to lean over and be like, I know what this is. I know what this is.